Were you all hesitant in any kind of way to participate in research? And what made you hesitant, and how did you overcome any of that?
Well, I'll start with that one. I actually wasn't. I think I've always had that inquisitive mind. When folk are doing stuff, especially in my community, I want to know what it's about.
Mhm.
I want all the questions. I want to be part of the conversation. I don't want the afterthought. So, in whether I'm just part of the research team or if I'm a participant, um, I'm not as hesitant as many folk that I've talked with, even when it came to COVID. We had to really do some talking to some folk, to help them move. I think I've accepted that many of us are those voices of reason. We're the trust messengers. And whether we know it or not, folk are watching us.
Mhm.
And if we, start to sound like we're questioning everything, they're going to step back even further.
Mhm.
They know that we're a step closer to this process than they are. We have a responsibility. Even if we question some things, we have a responsibility not to be vocal about it and be as negative about it if we expect, because we might be able to pivot and turn around and keep going.
Mhm.
We're negative, we're going to cause somebody else not to even get involved.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That's a really great point. So you all are ambassadors for research in the community, and you're it sounds like you're available to sort of answer questions that other people might have if they have hesitancy about research. Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Luther, any hesitancy when you think about when you first got started in research?
Yeah, you caused me to think about that just a bit. I guess when I first was exposed to the opportunities, I was still working, as I said, and I come out of the engineering environment of General Motors. So science really wasn't an issue. And also, actually, I was diagnosed, I shouldn't say diagnosed, screened for diabetes, at work. It wasn't my physician that actually did that. So dealing with health outside of my primary care's environment was not unusual, and more than that, I saw the need for more of that. So I think that probably helped me to not be hesitant, and also CBOP. Everything I did pretty much began because I was involved with CBOP, and those opportunities came from there. So having a group of people who are actually educating you on what research is, and talking about ethics and safety and all of that, which we did long before we created the Community Ethics Review Board.
Right.
We were aware of that. So I think because of my coming out of a science-based workplace, as well as coming in through a group that was focused on research and safety and ethics, that probably prevented me from being hesitant.
That's wonderful here, both based on your professional work experience as well as the community experience that you've had, that has limited your hesitancy for research. Great, Ms. Sadler.
Yes, my response is very much like Mr. Evans and Mrs. Green Moten. I was introduced to research community-based participatory research through CBOP, and then later even more in depth with CERB. And because of the people who were around me, who had an understanding, I watched them very closely. And when they were comfortable, that made me comfortable. And so it was easy for me to say yes. And then as Mrs. Greenmont was saying, going back to other people and asking them to participate, I found they did the same thing that I was doing.
Mhm.
That if someone came in that they were not familiar with, they were very hesitant.
Mhm.
But if I went to my church, and said, and did this a number of times, and in one research project, we had over close to 100 people participate. And I think the biggest thing was for me to get up in the pulpit and say, hey, this is safe. Come on, let's
Yeah.
do this. So having a person that you trust, that introduce the research to you, it meant everything.